They need to have is a horn.
I thought he had something last night.
Meeting time!
You need a big bullhorn.
They have one.
Sounds like somebody just took off and went that way. Boat. Taking my jacket long though.
All right, meeting time, huh? Yeah. 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 I think this is not everybody, but we're going to do it anyway. So welcome, everyone. Hello, good morning.
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 No. All right, well, it's a beautiful day. We've got weather. It's perfect. So welcome to Saturday morning on our fine 5th annual Classic Glastron Owners Association rally. We have had a fabulous time so far, and I think it's going to get better. So, I've got a few announcements this morning. The fine Deputy Sheriff is going to be joining us here shortly to say hello and kind of give us some basics on safety and answer any questions that anybody has in terms of specific regulations on what's going on here in Pierce County, and give us some guidelines and things like that. Who all is just joining us this morning? Anyone? Just this morning? There's Scott. Good. I know we got a lot of people that are out changing props and things like that. So anyway, here's the skinny for today. I would love for all of us to be in the boats and heading just upriver at 11 o'clock. What we're going to do is we're going to try and put together a little parade of all the boats and just kind of slowly motor upriver a little bit. The campground has been getting quite a few calls asking when people can view the boats and when they can come down and all of that stuff. So you might see people wandering around on the marina and in the campground. Welcome them and ask them questions and stuff like that. You'll probably hear a lot of people say, I learned how to water ski on that same boat and stuff like that. So it's kind of a cool thing. So thanks for participating and making them feel welcome. So at 11 o'clock, we're going to be in the boats heading upriver. What we like to do is basically idle up. This is all no wake zone right here. We idle up sort of to the park and then turn around and come back on the Red Wing side. Occasionally we've had some folks that are hanging out at the park and just enjoying the little parade as we go by. It's also a neat way that we can see all the boats that are here and kind of get a count and find out what's going on and how many are around. Thursday night we had 16 boats already here and 7 states represented, which is absolutely fabulous. I think we've got 1 or 2 more. We may be, the record 2 years ago was, I think, either 8 or 9 different states and 2 countries.
Oh wow.
So we're always working to improve upon that. But then, a little bit of a different change from last year and the years prior. The word is, and I haven't verified this, but the word is that both Hoaxila Campground Beach and the Long Point Sandbar that we were at last year, I understand that both of those are slightly gravelly and rocky. So, in an effort to just give us basic information here and make a decision, what I'd like to do is as we go south into the river, we'll just kind of make a trip down. We'll stop about halfway down to Lake City and regather. We'll head down a little bit further and sort of check out Lake City and see what it looks like. And then, rather than trying to decide if we're going to beach there or somewhere else, my intention is just to, at your own leisure, turn around and head back upriver. There's the first marina here at the first no-wake zone. It's called Bills Bay Marina. On the upriver side of that no-wake zone, so as you're coming upriver, on the left-hand side, there is a small island there. So if you take a little left turn, there's an island there, and I've been informed that on the back side, That's nice sandy beach that we can all pull up on. So what we're gonna do, just to reiterate so y'all understand, we're gonna go down towards Lake City through the no-wake zone out into the river. We'll stop about 6-8 miles down and regroup and take some photos as a big group of boats. We'll head, we'll head a little bit further down to Lake City towards Oksila Campground. If you want to hang out there a little bit, that's fine. And then we'll come back upriver at your own leisure. We'll go through the no-wake zone, and just out of the no-wake zone, we'll pull off to the left and find the group of shiny boats. So that's the plan. Any questions on that at all? If you want to stop anywhere else, you're more than welcome. I want everybody to feel like you have your own free ability to do what you like. I always reiterate, though, please make sure that you either have cell phone numbers, some way to communicate with some other person in the group, or that you not go by yourself unless you feel confident that you've got enough communication to make it back on your own if you have some sort of mechanical trouble. For those of you that are aware of these old boats, they tend to have some glitches now and again. So please don't get yourself stranded. Don't be the last one in line if you don't have
to get the cell phone number that you're going to have when you're down here, so that can be printed and given to everybody.
Ability with sheets of paper and things like that to gain cell phone numbers.
I think he used to.
So
Yeah,
look at the person next
someone
to you,
like me to help
ask if you
them.
can grab their cell phone number.
Actually, there's a guy on the forum that you can PM and he'll send them to you.
I'm going to leave the safety stuff to the deputy, so he'll be here momentarily. And then we need to cover a few other things. Who has open chairs, open seats in their boat, and would be willing to take some other folks with them?
You want to?
A couple here. Anyone else have open seats? We got open seats over here. Okay. So who needs a ride? There's 3 that need a ride here. Anyone else that needs a ride? Someone a ride, just make yourself known. That works out really well. All right, I have a few other things. This is the 5-year running memory book. My lovely wife put this together. You can look back, there's photos, and hey Josh, there's photos and little comments on your experiences here. This is really cool. Please take some time to fill this out. It's nice to be able to look back 4 or 5 years and look at the Barrett family right there. Gorgeous. It's nice to do that, so please take some time. This will be under the Rolling Rock green tent on the little table, so make an effort to fill that out. Also, for those of you that have arrived today, these are parking passes. This just helps the campground host to recognize that you're with this group. Those are also available on that table.
Okay, well, we're like 25, so.
These are some nice little CGOAMN bumper stickers. These were graciously provided to the club by Marianne Gallant. Dan Stanton and Marianne, she put these together for us. There's a lot of those up there, so feel free to advertise.
Oh, I didn't see them. Did they come down?
Sean has brought some awesome little trinkety stuff, clips and keychain holders from Farmers Insurance Group, and there's a whole box of that stuff up there. Feel free to grab. Outstanding. There's some Mercury Racing license plate covers donated by Don. Those are where, David?
I've got it in my trunk. I'll put up.
If anybody would like one, see David. He's got that. For those of you that stay for the dinner tonight, so dinner tonight, just to talk about that quickly, dinner is going to be at 6 o'clock this evening right here in the campground. I was smart this year and hired one of my own chefs at the catering company to bring us barbecue chicken and watermelon. So that's awesome. I don't have to cook. You should not be clapping for that.
Oh, it just means you need to relax.
I can relax. Yes, thank you. That's good. And then I know that Jerry's made some of his famous baked beans, and I've heard of some pasta dishes coming and some other stuff. So if you have food that you'd like to put in the big mix, we'll set up some dinner tables here.
Good.
Please stay for dinner if you have an opportunity. The fellowship is what this group's about. It's really awesome. Along with that, Scott and Mike Bishop, I just wanted to share something real quick about some experiences that they wanted me to convey.
They're the ones that just bought that CVX 18.
Great for a lot of different reasons. and Mike Bishop have been looking for a particular boat for 5 years. They wanted a champagne-colored CDX 18. They love the water ski. They've been waiting for the right boat for 5 years. They found one just recently, brought it home last week. They were having some trouble with it. They posted some stuff on the forum, and he just asked you to convey the amount of knowledge and fellowship and support that comes from the forum. For those of you that are or aren't connected, first off, thank you for being a part of that, but it's absolutely amazing. He posted that he was having cooling trouble in his new boat. Within an hour, someone was there to check, or someone had responded and said, I'm coming over to check on it tomorrow, diagnosed it, tore some stuff apart, said, here's the thing. That particular person didn't have quite enough knowledge to get the impeller changed, but then Jeff Rockwell said, hey, I changed impellers, let's do it tomorrow. So by the next day, the impeller was fixed, the cooling was fixed. Not only did Jeff happen to have the impeller, but he also had the little plastic tube part that had melted, and since the new one didn't fit, he also had the housing sitting there in his garage, of course. Why not? There at Jeff Rockwell's house. So Jeff had that fixed by the next day, and then the finish was a little rough. So Sean got together with him the day after that. Does it rain? Yeah, they're going down there.
Run!
So within 3 days of Scott Bishop posting that he had some concerns, he had a new cooling system. It had been diagnosed and fixed. He had the finish buffed out and waxed and all sorts of stuff done. Scott was just absolutely humbled by how the group came together. There is no group like this. I am absolutely passionate and convinced that this group is something special. We've got families, kids. We got people from 18 to 75 in this club or better. We got newborns. We got everything. It's an absolutely awesome place, and that speaks to the caliber of the people that you guys are. I want to thank you all for that. It makes me honored to be a part of it. So, that's really fabulous. We've always talked about no one gets left behind. I mentioned this briefly before. If somebody's stranded, I don't care if they're in this club or some random boat. You see somebody having some problems, stop and help them. That's what makes this group something special. If you see somebody, you know, the universal signal
I feel like
for my
standing
boat
up and
is
saying
not
we're
working
newbies here,
is
but
an engine cowling
No.
off and you going like this.
thank Brian for all he does.
I highly recommend, if any of you have thought about it, grab some Blaze Orange fabric in the future, put it on a 3-foot stick, and that works really well too. So, we talked about everything. We talked about this stuff.
Just be quiet.
This little can here has traveled with us a few years. There are some expenses associated with the food and the campground and all that stuff. I take on a lot of that. The website that I host and all that. I don't want to make any specific pleas, but if you feel
can ask
compelled
him
that
if
this
I can
is
make him
something
check out
special
for him.
for you, if you'd like to help defray some of the costs of what this is, feel free to make a donation. Garnett is around somewhere. She's over in the corner. She'd be happy to take that as well. And thank you in advance. I really appreciate that. Okay. I mentioned a few people. If I don't say something to remind me, did I cover everything? We got a person a boat this morning. Yes. Here in a few minutes at about it's 10:20. Let's say about 10:35. Jerry has graciously offered to host a boat naming and renaming ceremony. For those of you that know the lore and fables of seamanship, there is some really cool stuff that is associated with naming and renaming of vessels. Jerry has graciously provided 3 bottles of champagne that we can christen any boat that has not been named or needs to be renamed. It's supposed to be by the lore of the sea the only way to ensure safe passage on the water. So Jerry's going to take care of that. You guys want to meet down at the picnic tables on the docks or where?
I got
Jerry's
2 more bottles of champagne too.
Say again?
I got 2 more bottles of champagne too.
5 bottles of champagne. Speaking of boating and drinking. Yes, the High Princess of the Seas, Barb, is going to perform the ceremony.
She was drafted, let's face it.
All right. Only no bayliners in the naming ceremony. Thank you very much. All right. All right. Where would you like to be? So you want to?
Are we gonna do
Okay,
that?
we're going to start with Jerry's boat over at campsite number 3 at his trailer, and please meet in about 10 minutes right over here at on the other side with Jerry, and then you can take it there. Then we'll go down to the docks. Perfect. Okay, what else? Yes, sir.
Pressure washer.
Yes, thank you very much.
Bob has it set up.
Our fine campground host, Bob and Margie, thank you for joining us, Margie. Bob has set up a pressure washer for all of us to use. As you're pulling out of the river, please feel free to give your boat a hose down underneath. It is located
Right at the end, I mean, you pull up, it's right on your left-hand side.
pull up out of the landing and stop just straight ahead on the left.
You'll
and
see
you
it
can
laying out
wash
there. It's
the boat.
electric.
Say again?
It's electric. So once you're done with it, please turn it off if it has a slight leak. That's all he asks.
Okay. So thank you to the host and hostess. Margie, would you like to say hi?
Hi.
She's been graciously, and her and her husband and daughter and staff have been graciously hosting us now for 4 years. So thank you, Margie, for all your hospitality. Okay. What else?
Where's the sheriff?
The sheriff is, I just saw 2 vehicles.